Alf, is it evil for Pokemon investors slash collectors slash speculators to be making money on the Pokemon card bull run that we have found ourselves in? Of course it is. Of course it's wrong. I'm just kidding. It's not wrong. I'll be right back. What's going on, Collectibles family? It's another day. It's another Collectibles video. We are back again. The Pokemon market continues to sizzle.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
But we want to talk about specifically, and I say we, I mean I, me and Alf, want to talk specifically about a Nostalgia Nomics video that came out. It was either today or yesterday. And basically he was saying that he's getting a lot of pushback, or I guess in the comment section or whatever, that, hey, this is not fair necessarily that people are making money, that these booster boxes have gone up over time and people are able to sell them and make money doing that and so forth. The more and more that I learn though about just kind of this particular market, and when I hear the price points coming from the sports card side of things, man, if you were somebody that bought in and held and had the conviction to do so, and this kind of goes for really anything, because there's so much opportunity cost here where you could have put your money in a variety of other places. For those that had the will and had the conviction to put money into these things, and now they have gone up in price, and if they continue to go up in price, should you feel guilty about that? No, of course not. I believe Nostalgia Nomics, or one of these guys, said that at the end of 2021, they bought up a lot of boxes, Fusion Strike, at $90 a box at the end of 2021. And then they held them for 3 years. And we're using Fusion Strike as an example, but not every product has done this. This is one that's kind of an outlier, that's been a popular one here recently, that's popped up to $450, $475, up to $500 for a booster box. That's not typical though. A lot of the other products, yes, they've gone up in price. Maybe they're $200, $250, $300. Brilliant Stars is what, $250? So they've moved up in price, but I'm using Fusion Strike as an example. 3 years, and yes, that one's done really well. You're up 5 extra money in 3 years? That is fantastic. If you're talking about Brilliant Stars, let's say it's the same roughly, that you got it for $100, you doubled up 2.5 extra money in just a couple of years, few years. That's amazing. But the truth is, and the reality of the situation, is that most people, when you're talking about putting money into something and holding it and believing in it, 3 years is an absolute eternity. Most people don't hold on to anything for more than 6 months, 12 months. I mean, and 6 months might be long for some people. On the sports card side, and I'm sure this is the same on the Pokemon card side of the world, they're flippers. They're flipping cards. The idea of holding a card for 6 months, there's some people on the sports card flipping side, they hold cards like through a weekend. They're literally buying on Friday, buying on Tuesday to sell on Friday, buying on Friday to sell on Sunday or something. I mean, it's very quick turnaround. It's very transactional, high volume transactions. Now, maybe it's not quite like that in Pokemon. Maybe it's a little bit different. But the reality is that 3 years for a lot of people, I mean, think about what's gone on over the last 3 years. The end of 2021 feels like a lifetime ago, maybe for some people. We're still kind of dealing with like pandemic foolishness, stupidness. We're still not out of that yet at the end of 2021. Not to mention a lot of the folks that are in this world, that are in this sealed holding product world, they're under 40. I do know there are people, Rudy, and I know other whales that are certainly 45, 50 plus and so forth. But really the truth is, especially when you go on to Pokemon YouTube or IG, most of the folks, the nostalgia, it's all built in for 40 and under year olds. I'm 43. I don't have nostalgia for Pokemon. That was a little bit after me. That kicked off in 99. I was 18 years old. I wasn't into Pokemon. I was in other things, more focused on females and college and blah, blah, blah. Additionally, when I listen to live streams, listen to other Pokemon YouTubers talking about how distribution works and how it's worked over time, these aren't huge margin products as they've come out. These haven't been popular going back over the last few years. If you're someone that's kind of buying and holding, I really like the fact that it's kind of an incremental type gain thing. More recently, of course, that's changed where stuff is kind of moving up overnight. It's maybe going up 10, 15, 20, 25% in a week, and that's a little bit abnormal. But I like the fact though that you can kind of build up positions. It's not mega expensive. The price point, $100, $125, $150 for a booster box. It's got 36 packs in it. Even $200, let's say it's $250 for a Brilliant Stars booster box. There's 36 packs in there. You know, I mean, it's still per pack. It's not crazy money, you know, to get into this market, which I also think is a big reason. There's a few reasons why I think this is happening. We'll talk about this on another video. But one is that you have people coming over from the sports card side that are used to new product being a lot more expensive than this. So the idea of putting $250 into a booster box of 36 packs for a Pokemon box, that's like a cheap sports card box. So I think people that have money on the sports card side, they're looking at this and saying like, hey, I can make plays in this. I'll throw some money at this and see what happens. It's fun. Also, as I'm learning more and more, the expansion of rip and chips, and just opening packs, and that being more and more of a thing, whether it be on Whatnot or Fanatics Live or on YouTube or wherever that is, it does seem like over the last 12, 18, 24 months, if I'm looking at just kind of the Pokemon space, talking to more people about it, it has kicked up a lot here over the last couple of years. And then, of course, it's been a lot of Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet product that has been opened. So for the sealed holders, that's fantastic news. So this is all really interesting, kind of how this is playing out. But the whole idea that people are getting really upset, you know, with the scalping and this and that. You know, I know people are getting worked up about Prismatic, you know, the new product that's coming out. But just based on how this has gone, this shouldn't really be too much of a shock, you know, that the new retail price might go up. And really what could happen is Pokemon Company, they might just up the retail prices starting out. You know, it might not be that a new box of this stuff is $80 or $90 or $100. Maybe the Pokemon Company will say, you know what? New MSRP is $120, it's $150 or whatever, you know, for the specialty product, however much. I'm throwing out numbers here. It could very well happen. I know they can just reprint it, but as opposed to also just reprinting it, they also might just make it a little bit more expensive out of the gate. So yes, if you are somebody that held on to a booster box that you bought 3 years ago, or a dozen booster boxes or 1,000 booster boxes that you bought 3 years ago, and they've gone up in price, you've earned that. You earned it. Look, if you're buying big volume of this stuff, if you're buying 100 boxes, 50 boxes, 1,000 boxes, whatever it is, that's a huge chunk of cash. That's a lot of cash. You really have to have conviction and a belief to hold that much product. So congrats to those that have seen the recent big rise. We'll see how it goes. Is it going to continue on through all of 2025? Or will there be a little bit of a correction and then maybe it swings back up? Will it just flatline? What will happen? We will be here to talk about it. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.